Welcome back. That was Phobia. That was amazing. What's Christmas is the song. We had well, everybody's kind of joining us from Omad Records. The family is all coming together for this holiday special, this showcase of Omad Records Make a Joyful Noise.
By the way, Jeremiah, the bartender from What's Christmas just joined us, Jason Stutts from Rust Dust. So
Yes.
thought I'd mention that. He just walked in.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm cutting you off.
yeah, cut me off. Cut me off for sure. Mute me. But the bartender, how'd you get that gig? Everybody wants to be the bartender. It's hard to
You
get.
know, uh, it was a tough crowd that night, and they could only use a tough guy like me. When you see Phobia walk in the door and they're at the bar, you got to call out somebody who's gonna, keep an eye on things. So I had to work that night. It was, they were pretty. Most of them were pretty good. I had to cut one of them off.
Yeah, I think I knocked the glass over.
Hey,
Oh, he's
you.
here. Are you referring to Max from Phobia?
I think that's the guy.
Yeah.
You
I don't
hate
know
to
if he
point him
remembers me or
out,
not.
but
Look
you
like
hate.
all season. Let's
He's on like the most wanted and most watched at the bars around town, huh?
Yeah.
Max. Well, it fuels his creativity. We got a great song out of it, so I love it.
Oh, absolutely. This is a great. Oh man, such a
Yeah.
great song.
Well, Jason, we're
What
going to talk about your song.
Christmas.
yeah, I can't wait to.
We're going to talk about Jason Rust Dust's song coming up here in a moment. But first, wanted to welcome to the show Patti Maloney and John DeNicola. Ordinary Madness is the band. They're together. The song is Happy Christmas. Let me tell you a little bit about Patti. Patti Maloney is a Billboard charting songwriter and recording vocalist. She's celebrated for dynamic performances from the historic CBGBs to prestigious venues like New York City's Plaza Hotel, New Jersey's Stone Pony, wow, and the Breakers in Palm Beach. Patti has penned lyrics for 10 Shakespearean musicals alongside Academy Award winner John DeNicola. Currently immersed in crafting her musical storybook. Can't wait to get a copy of this one. Patti, you're going to have to bring this back to us when you have it. Sleeping Beauty Just Woke Up is the title. Patti's performed with Bruce Springsteen, Funkadelic's Bernie Worrell, and the queen of the dance, Christine W., and Yankee jazz artist Bernie Williams. You can find more about Patti Maloney at pattimaloney.com, PattiMaloney, and on Instagram at Patti Maloney. Welcome, Patti.
I'm shocked because you went to my website. I didn't give you that information. I didn't want to talk about all that. And most of the work I did with John. I didn't play with Bernie Williams, but John and I wrote a song for Bernie Williams. John and I wrote the song. What's the first song on the record, Cassidy? Which one are you singing? You're singing
At Christmastime.
At Christmastime.
Yeah.
John and I, probably I know John the longest, everybody who's here. Yeah, right, John? We started.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I could have just said that in the bio. That would have been enough, huh?
Yeah,
I know. I'm with John.
And I think that, so I know John the longest, and I remember when he used to be a fan of Peter Lewis before he even knew Peter Lewis, and he appreciated that music so much. And John and I had a band together in, I think, 87 or 87. Frankie Previtt, who was also the co-writer for Dirty Dancing, he was a friend of mine, and he didn't want to play out live. And John was aching to play out live. And Frankie said, go work with John. And so John and I put together a band called Ordinary Madness back then in 87. Probably we've been writing since 86, but 87, we were really, really big on the New York city music scene, but underground. And then he wrote the songs in Dirty Dancing. And our band, Ordinary Madness, the title was from Bukowski. So you could get the idea that, we were like not Dirty Dancing. And so we showcased at CBGB's in 89 and got turned down by 35 record labels. And so
Those are
we
bragging
were
rights.
totally blown, we didn't sound like Dirty Dancing. We sounded more like The Cure or The Pretenders meets I don't know what. And my lyrics were pretty dark and raging. And I remember, it was just, so I went back to Jersey with my tail between my legs and continued to write with John. I mean, we took a break, and then over the years, John would call me. Oh, I would call him and say, I have lyrics I have to write or else I'm gonna go crazy. And I go, just send me music, right, John? Do you remember all those times? I still do that. I still do that. And then I think what happened was when Jake turned 13, or he was even 12, John called me and said, Jake is in this Shakespearean group and they made me the musical director. Can you come upstate New York and write music for these musicals, these Shakespearean musicals? And we proceeded to write 10 Shakespearean musicals they really made us grow as songwriters, right, John? Even after he wrote Dirty Dancing, that Shakespeare stuff blew me away. It made me appreciate, getting into the character even more, and working with the kids, the children at that time. Now they're all adults. It was just a unique experience, and so I continue to play. I mean, I'm gigging tomorrow night at Bar A down in Belmar. And I just did a gig at the beginning of September. This is totally full circle for me, because I did a gig with Lenny Kaye, who did the Nuggets collection. And Lenny sang Peter Lewis's song. What was that? Dream? Something about, wait. I gotta look at
song. Peter was in that band. That's from
that band.
version.
But that band, we did
the
Rain last night.
Yes. Lenny Kaye singing this, and then John calls me up, and I knew that we wrote this song for this record, and I told Lenny, I said, Lenny, we got this Christmas record coming out, and I'm on stage, in Middlesex County with all the kids that I grew up with, and all the kids that I grew up with became, legendary musicians, except for me, basically. And they're all like my age or older, but they're still, when you look at Lenny on stage, like I started singing, I don't know what I was singing. I was singing, Don't Walk Away, Renee, it was on the Nuggets record. And I looked over at Lenny, and Lenny is just loving it. And it just it made my heart stop. I wanted to cry because he was just so into the music. Mm-hmm. And so music is so healing. And I'm so fortunate to be able to write and perform, and I wasn't in Fovia's video. The first one, the dog one, Puppy.
Oh,
my puppy was. I think Arwen, I was in your video too.
Oh, are you? That's you.
And my daughter was in that one too. And my daughter is like, yes.
You keep it in the family here at home.
Yeah, it sounds like
it. The little blonde girl, she's on the clip that you have. Okay, yeah, that's my daughter. She's 20. She was 20 yesterday. And I've worked with Cassidy over the years. I met Cassidy. And I know everybody on the screen, even though I haven't met them. So, and this record brought my band back together. We were together, we got together and recorded basically in our own spot,
Yeah. I have a couple questions for you.
What's that?
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
About your story here that you've beautifully illustrated for us. The CBGB, when you got rejected by 35 recording, as you said, labels.
Companies, yeah.
Yeah, companies. But you played on CBGB stage. Was it CBGB then that it was, that the legend that it has now, was that special that night that you played?
Everybody said. I remember Tommy Allen, the drummer in the band, but Tommy's gone on to do great things. Tommy Allen said, we've got to play CB's. The sound is great. Everybody loves CB's. Nobody would go to the China Club to see a showcase. They would only go down to CBGB's, and I said, I don't think
Robert LaRoche was playing over at the China Club, though.
Yeah, we played at the China Club a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
Tommy managed the China Club. And
So in a way, is it like it's a badge, should be a badge of honor? Yeah, we may have got rejected, but we played that stage, and I can say that. And you're still playing and making great music. I think that's cool. Personally,
well,
do you
thank
feel that way at all?
I
That you got...
I thought CBGB's wouldn't fit all my friends. I was pissed, you know? But the sound was great, and we had a great time playing. And, you know, the stage was small, and I couldn't move. I was scared to death, basically. I was going there to showcase, and I wasn't really myself. I don't think I was myself until maybe recently.
Did anybody else here play at CBGB's? What did I say? CBGB.
Size played there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Size played there too. Yeah.
Well, I also think it's very cool. I imagined when you mentioned that John was such a big fan of Peter Lewis before they've worked together, and listening to the albums. Do you guys just laugh now and that you're all on an album together, that we're talking about Make a Joyful Noise, that you have worked together? It's got to be a highlight, I would imagine, that you work with your hero or your somebody you admired that much.
Yeah, I mean, yes. The short answer is yes. The long answer is anybody should want to work with Peter Lewis. He's just such a talented writer. You know, he and Neil Young's name should flow off your tongue in the same realm. You know,
You two write really well together, John. The music you come up with evokes certain. I mean, his lyricism is his lyricism, but the music that you tend to write with his lyrics really complements it. Very beautiful. You like when you come back to me. And what's the other one on that record? When you come back,
without you, which is partly about you.
Oh yeah,
it's a beautiful lyric. That you know, that closes out our documentary, which you haven't seen yet, but it doesn't close it out. But it's the second to last song, and when it comes on, it's just those major seventh chords just melt your heart. Yeah. But yeah, no, working with Peter has been wonderful. In fact, we're working on 2 new songs. At the moment, actually, we're doing a revamp of his song.
going down to Texas.
Going down to Texas. So we're revamping that, and then we have another song that we're working on together. Going to use that 12-string on there a lot.
Well, but Patti and John, can you?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that new 12-string. You're gonna
We're going to use that on Peter's new song.
Oh, good.
I do want to interject about Ordinary Madness. If you take the first 2 letters from, well, the first letter from Ordinary and the first 3 letters from Madness, what is that?
Omad.
No, we used to sign it in the studio. Remember? You write the whole word. Yeah.
Is that where it was born?
We used to call the band Omad, but yeah. So that's where that comes. Tales of Ordinary Madness by Charles Bukowski.
Happy Christmas. Both of you set this up for us. We're going to play it right now.
Which one is it?
Happy Christmas.
Oh, go ahead, Patti, you go.
This was recorded all separately. We didn't get in the same room for it. John sent me the guitar track. I sent back some words. It was supposed to be called Something About Peace. Then John edited the words and the melody. We worked on it together. But it's a whole band collaboration, because over the years I've learned that if you're in a band with somebody, you all add your different flavors, you know, and it really came together. Tommy did a lot of the backup vocal arranging. John flew in his parts. Doug flew in all his guitar work, and then I went in the studio. I put down a lead vocal. I added more vocals to Tommy's vocals. John added some vocals, and also I have to say that Clink Giglio is somebody that I work with in the studio. He's like the person that I live by, and he's a Dove Award-winning producer, and he's a great Hammond player. He's playing Hammond on this, and so we sat down, we mixed it, and we sent it back to John, and And I was very, I appreciate being from New Jersey now, which is something that I basically ran from a lot of time when I was living in New York and working in New York. And so I said in the middle part, I do this kind of breakdown and I go 1, 2, 3, totally ripped off from Bruce. Totally ripped off from Bruce, give him, because
A nod.
What's
I would call it a nod, not a ripoff.
not a vehicle. Okay. And a nod to Bruce. And of course, Happy Christmas. The backup vocals that Tommy came up with are very reminiscent of the Beatles or the Beach Boys, which is a real true collaboration, right, John?
Absolutely. How we always do it.
Yeah.
Patti, why don't you introduce the song?
Okay, so this is Happy Christmas on Omad Records, and the song was written by Ordinary Madness. Keyboard player on this is Plink Julia.
Yes, there we go. Okay, we're gonna play Happy Christmas, and this is the Omad Records Holiday Music Showcase. We've got original music from Omad Records Make a Joyful Noise album. I'm gonna give you while you're listening to this, I'm gonna give you a little homework. Go to omadrecords.com and pick up a copy. It's a CD or an LP. Make a Joyful Noise. You can get a digital download when you purchase. It's got 2 covers and 11 original holiday songs by various artists. They're all here with us today, including Academy Award winner John DeNicola, Cassidy Ladden, Peter Lewis of Moby Grape, rock icons The Size, indie rock bands The Medics, Fovea, blues guitarist Zonder Kennedy, Arwen Lewis, Tommy Pluta, Alan Zahn featuring Erica Lay, Original Madness featuring Patti Maloney, who we just heard from, who set up the song so beautifully, Russ Dust, and Elizabeth and Jake. We will be right back. Go get the record, omadrecords.com.